right, motherfuckers. There you heard it, man. Fucking brand new fucking Crazy Mad Ride. Before that, of course, some brand new Webb of Deceit featuring Brandon Barker from Crazy Mad Ride on lead guitar. Badass fucking shit, man. Let's call Brandon up right the fuck now and see what the fuck is going on in his world, dude.
What's up, man?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Lots of music going on, lots of things in general, so life's good. How about you, man?
Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking trying to devastate the fucking planet, dude. One fucking headbanger at a time, man.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm that lineup for the Metal Devastation Festival, that's sick, man.
Hell yeah, dude. It is, man. It's fucking sick as fuck. But you know what? Last year's fucking lineup was fucking sick as fuck too, man, because we had a band called Crazy Mad Ride out there, man. You might know those guys.
Yeah, maybe. I think I've heard of them.
How you guys been, man? How have you been so far, man? Like, ever since, man? Fucking what's been going on? I know there's been a lot of shit fucking going on, man. We'll get into it one by one, but yeah, just tell us, man.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, dude, I just want to thank you again for having us on that festival last year.
Of course, dude. Of course.
You know, 1,400 people in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, that's wicked. And you and Raven are doing something that, you know, there should be more of, but you guys are doing it, so it's great, and it's a great you know, chance for bands to really get out there and be the big time, you know, even the underground bands. But other than that, man, we just got out of the studio. You know, we kind of went on hiatus from the studio because we were with a label at the time since sometime mid last year, I think September of last year. And that didn't really go as planned. But man, we just got out of the studio, and the studio, the sound engineer, he's mixing our latest single, and so we're going to have a single coming out soon. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be called Down to the Wire.
Hell yeah, dude. Can't wait to hear that shit, man. So tell us, man, what happened with this fucking label? What label were you with, and what happened? Like, what did they do? Like, and I saw your post on social media, man. You seem pretty upset about it. Tell us, man, what happened, dude?
Yeah, so I would like to say that I am not one to post something on social media that makes me seem like a victim. I've never really been a fan of people who do that. But the thing is, that post I made more for awareness purposes, because I feel it wasn't just me. I felt for us, but I also felt for any band that is signed to this label. They are called Sliptrick Records, and they are a slip trick because they basically, you know, they said, oh yeah, we'll send you CDs, and you know, they asked for money monthly and said that, you know, we'll double the money you pay us to be put into merchandise and marketing and CDs and all that, and we never got the CDs, we never got any merchandise. You know, they posted our songs on the EP on Spotify, but like, we could do that. So it was just a mess. That they basically did not do what they said they would do in the contract. And now that contract's over with. Fair warning to everybody, just beware of Sliptrick Records. That's all I really want to say. I don't want to go too far into it, but they very much.
So did they breach the contract? Were you able to, like?
Well, dude, I don't have money to sue them or anything. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're just preying on the smaller bands that they know maybe are just struggling. I don't know, man. It's you know, because you know, there's bigger bands that supposedly say that they've done right by them, and I'm like, okay, so what it seems like is they're screwing little guys, you know, taking their money, but then riding the wave of the bigger bands' names out there and treating them right so that they get good publicity. But then they're going to take advantage of smaller bands. You see what I'm saying? And so it literally is a slip trick. So, I mean, they've earned their name. Congratulations to them. But I just fair warning to everybody. It's like, if you work with, don't pay them. Just, I mean, really, don't pay them. Don't pay them, because that's not how it should work anyways, man. I thought about it, I'm like, why? Because, I mean, you know, you guys have a great PR system to where, you know, a band can pay and then you guys blow it up, and you guys do great services. And I'm like, why did I add a middleman? I mean, you know, like, I can just, you know, put that money towards you guys, and you guys do incredible work and have been fair and incredible people to have do that kind of stuff.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, Brandon, I try to, you know, a lot of bands, well, it's not all bands, you know, but some bands, they'll ask me advice on stuff, you know, and like what I think they should do, you know, and sometimes they'll send me stuff and ask me, and I'm usually like, you know, I don't really know, you know, like, fucking, you know, like, I've never signed with any of these labels. I don't know how that works, but, you know, as far as I can see, like, you know, in today's world, in 2024, man, like, what do you really need a label for? You know, like, you have to ask yourself that, I think, you know, and like, well, because there's so much shit that you guys can do on your own, you know, as far as distribution, fucking, you know, put up your Bandcamp, put your shit on DistroKid, sell your own merch, keep 100% profit. that's a big thing, you know, like, you guys need that shit, man. I know fucking this stuff is not a cheap fucking thing to do, being in this business, you know, like, it costs money, definitely, but like, yeah, when you throw a middleman in there, man, that motherfucker better be fucking he better be doing something, because if he's not, it's, you know, fuck, man, that could be fucked up.
Yeah, well, with labels, here's how I see it, and I still do believe labels serve a purpose, and this way right here, this way is how I, you know. But read the contracts thoroughly, and unfortunately, it's like, you know, ours was breached, so I guess, you know, watch out for that too. But the thing about labels, and this is what I told the guys in the band as well, and we've kind of come to an agreement, unless it's like Nuclear Blast or Napalm, you know, because, you know, with those bands, you know, you have to have, or I'm sorry, with those labels, you know, like Metal Blade, I believe, is this way as well. You have to have, like, your stats, like, okay, what's your album stats? What's this? You know, because you have to have prerequisites to be able to for them to show interest to sign you, basically. You know, they want to know your sales, they want to know how much you're touring a year, they want to know how much money you're making, because you're basically, labels nowadays are business partners. That's what they are. And the reason a big label like that, I feel like, is good for a band, you know, maybe not to be signed to them forever, but because when that band, when that, you know, because Nuclear Blast, for example, when you see Nuclear Blast on a band's CD, you're going to be like, holy shit.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. That carries weight. I mean, you know, that's going to get you into every magazine, every, you know, it's going to get you booked on fucking big festivals and stuff like that. Like, it's going to carry its weight, man, for sure. You know, like, with labels like that, I
say this, those labels I will trust more than the ones that are like, oh yeah, if you pay us monthly, we'll do this, this, and this. Because, you know, at least those other labels, you know, they give you the prerequisites. They'll say, okay, well, your album sales have to be this, this, and this. Like, they have to see that you can do it on your own. You know, these labels that are like, you gotta pay them. At this point, I'm really, I'm avoiding that. You know, if a label comes across and they see the potential in us, and they want, and they don't want monthly payments, but let's say they want a percentage of the record we make with them. If it's an established label that, you know, I know for a fact other bands have had a good experience with, like, I'm talking a lot of other bands have had a good experience with, then you know what, we'll give it a shot. Like, I'm not counting labels out, but there are a lot of red flags that I will be looking out for in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Not all labels are the same. Just like not all PRs are the same. Not all management companies are the same. You know, there are legit. There's legit companies out there and people that will definitely help you and will be worth it. You know, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, I heard from another band. and I don't know this for a fact, but I'll just say, like, I heard from them that they said that they heard from an industry insider that, like, labels like Nuclear Blast and whatnot, they're looking at, like, your fucking, your stats for sure, man. Like if you don't have 50,000 fucking listeners monthly on Spotify, they probably won't even, you know.
Yeah,
and I don't know that for a fact or not, but if it is, it does kind of make sense because they're going to make a big investment.
Because I've been, I mean, even with Metal Blade Records, I believe that's the one I looked into. It might have been Napalm I was looking at though. But like, you will go on their signed the rosters page, or like how to get signed or whatever. You can Google that and it'll come up. Some amount of sales a year on this on your CDs has to have a certain amount of streams on their albums and stuff like that. It's absolutely, there's criteria that you have to meet before you even get thought about by those labels.
Yeah.
Before you get looked at. Like, I mean, if you reach that stuff, great. If you reach the criteria, but then they probably still look at you and be like, okay, but is this something that will continue to be, there's probably levels that they look at of okay, well, they're good enough to be looked at, but now let's go into even more depth. I'm sure that's what they do.
Yeah. It makes sense too, like, I mean, if I had a label and I was doing that, I would definitely be looking at all that kind of stuff, because if you're gonna,
I'm sorry. It is what it is, dude. I mean, like, it's they don't want to make a poor investment. They need to absolutely positively know for sure that you are going to sell. They have to know, period. And that's just how they make sure of it,
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think it's actually, the world is definitely different now, and the industry is different, but at the same time, it's kind of the same. Like, it's a lot of things. Some things have changed, but a lot of things are the same, But the truth is, like you said, I mean, the bigger ones especially, they've always been kind of like a bank, and like they're going to basically give you a loan, or however they do it. That's their investment, and they're looking at at all that shit, like. Is this band selling fucking tons of shit on their Bandcamp already with their fans? Like, how are they interacting on social media? Do they have fucking tons of followers that will show up and go to their shows, and people are streaming their shit on Spotify and YouTube and Apple and all that shit? Like, because that's how the whole thing works. So yeah, it totally makes sense. I mean, But the cool thing is that now with the internet, anybody and everybody has access to everything that you pretty much need to get it out there, to put it out there, make your art, be creative as fuck, do whatever the fuck you got to do, put it out there and see what the fuck happens, and how much you hustle it, is
hustle is the big thing. And I'm talking constantly all the time, I mean, you got to throw it in people's faces, man. You have to. You have to constantly, like, whenever something happens, if we have a gig or something, I'll private message all our fans. Like, I'll go, like, and copy and paste it to as many fans as I can. Like, if it's a new release, if it's a gig coming up, anything like that, man. It's because it's just, that's how it grows. It really is the digital era in that sense. But I mean, it's paying off. I mean, on Instagram, we're almost at 2,000 followers, which is still very much rookie numbers. But it's learning what people want, what attracts them to. Of course, I mean, obviously, what attracts you to the band, but also what keeps them hooked on it. Like, they're scrolling through and they see something pop up about a metal band. It's like they see probably thousands of metal bands a day on Instagram and stuff. It's like finding that one thing that'll stick out, that'll make them want to stay and watch that video and follow your page and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, like, back in the old days, in the 80s and 90s and stuff, before the internet really happened, you have to think, nobody was able to put stuff out there on their own. They just would make demo tapes and trade them and play club shows and stuff like that. But like there was no way for them to do it on their own, and so the labels had a lot more. They probably had a lot more money that they could invest at that time, so they were very selective about who they would pick and choose, and sometimes it would be a gamble. Sometimes it would be based on, like what's trending right now, all these hair bands are fucking making it big with these fucking ballads, so, this band came in and they submitted and they've got this song that we think is going to be a hit. We're going to throw some money at them and we're going to make it big. But like now, it's everybody has access to the internet. Everybody has access to put it out there on their own, and it's more of it's kind of like they're sitting back watching what you can do on your own first, and then they'll see if it's worth fucking jumping in there. But every now and then, I mean, you never know. Like it doesn't like. I know some bands and some people nowadays can get kind of discouraged with that whole thing because it's different in that way. But yeah, at the same time, I think that also means like it's more accessible, like because you can still, at least now, you can still do a lot more on your own and still have fun and still live your dream, to a certain extent, at least, like, I mean.
So what's funny is I'm going to bring up my solo project at this point as well, because you're talking about on your own. So with the metal band, like I will say, the one great thing that really helps us is I'm a fairly decent video editor. So video editing and making videos for social media, that's almost just as important as the music itself nowadays. Oh, yeah. Because you're talking about bands getting turned off by that. I absolutely understand. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can do it, but I really don't appreciate the fact that it's like, man, I want to focus on the music. I don't want to have to do this and do that and do this and do the social media and do the videos and do this and that. But I can't afford to pay anybody right now. I mean, we're starting out, and I think that's a big thing about labels back in the day when they saw potential. They had all that covered. There's pros and cons to it. And like you said, and not everybody's going to like the old ways, and they're going to like the new ways, but not everybody's going to like the new ways. In all honesty, I think we can definitely thrive in the new age right now. I really do, because of the connections we have and the way we're able to utilize, like I said, the other traits we have, like with the video editing and the abilities of us being able to do that. We don't record ourselves yet. We go to Lead Belly Sound Studio, which is a great place to go, and Matt Washburn over at Lead Belly Sound Studio in Dawsonville, Georgia, he does great work. But other than that, man, we're trying to do this ourselves, and Doc and Ashton, they're troopers. They're helping out as well, and we don't lose sight of the music, though, man. Music is most important, and down to the wire that hopefully will get released probably within the next month or two. That will be a good one. It has a little more groove than some of our other songs do, so I think people will really vibe with it. But yeah, man, it's the new age. It's like you have to accept it for what it is, and that's just the industry in general.
Yeah,
accept it for what it is.
I mean, it is what it is. It's not going back. But I mean, yeah, I think about it, and like the way that it was in the old days. You're right. Like, the labels, they had a lot more money to spend on stuff like that. But at the same time, they would be the ones handling all the fucking third parties, they would be the ones taking care of paying the PR, paying the marketing, doing all this. And the bands would basically just have to be creative and make their songs and hope they stick. And that's all they would have to do, really, and just get out there and put on a good show. But now you have to do your own videos. You have to find your own PR, find your own booking, find your own merch people, and do all that. So it is a lot more work. But at the same time, it's like, what do you want? Like, do you want somebody else handling everything for you, or do you want to be able to have your hands in it and be able to have more control over it?
And I mean, the way I tell people is everything has its cost. And what I mean by that is not money. If that label in the old days was handling everything else for you, you better believe in the studio you were doing every damn thing they told you to do.
Yeah.
You said, okay, no, we don't like that. We're going to do it this way. You know, if the more they did for you, the less freedom you had. That's how I feel. I mean, that's what I heard.
Yeah, they'd have a producer in there shouting at you, telling you, "No, motherfucker, do it like this." You know, like.
So I mean, I think about that. I'm like, man, I don't know how I'd feel about that. But you know, if that paycheck came in, it might be like, well, you know, we did sign on to make a career out of this, and there's a balance. You know, there really is a balance, because you know, you don't want to just slap your fans in the face by totally selling out, but you know, you also have to make sure that you yourself are financially, you know, reaching your goals in life. You know, but you know, if you make good music, you don't have to worry about that. I don't feel like so.
True.
And we're good musicians, man. I mean, the EP, you know, and I think I even saw a critic say this. They're like, had some great moments, had some moments that I can tell that the band is still trying to find their sound. And that's absolutely true. We are absolutely still trying to find the one thing about us that is going to make people say, damn, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, because we are 80s influence, we have our influences, but we're all, and down to the wire, this next single, you'll hear more of us, but you know, it's like I love Megadeth and Metallica and this and that, but slowly but surely we are finding ourselves, and with that, you know, it's going to be shown in the music.
That's not a bad thing to say either. You know, like if you look back and you listen to Megadeth's first record, Slayer's first record, Metallica's first album, they all were trying to find themselves at that point. You know, they were still trying to find their sound, and it didn't really fully happen until many, many years later, you know? So,
yeah,
I mean, and that's a good thing, you know, like at least you're on your way, you know, like there's nothing wrong with that. I in my mind, you know, like that's cool. At least they took time to fucking say something too, man. Like, 'cause man, I'm telling you what, dude, like I know I get like 300, 400 emails a day, dude. And you know, a lot of that stuff is from my PR shit, but a lot of it is fucking band submissions, and record labels sending me stuff, and promoters sending me stuff, you know, and there's just so much all the time, you know. So it's like, for people out there who do reviews, and you know, the websites like fucking Metal Injection and Metal Sucks and all those guys that post stuff on their websites, you know, like they have to dig through a lot of fucking stuff. They can't post every fucking thing, you know what I mean? Like they can't write about every single thing that comes their way. They just can't, you know? And
yeah,
that's something I try to tell everybody, too, that we work with Metal Devastation PR. You know, like, we're going to send it to everybody, dude. And we will keep on telling them, man. But, you know, we can't guarantee that they're going to like everything that we send them. You know, it's just, it's a Hail Mary, you know? Like, it's a good Hail Mary, but it's a Hail Mary, you know, at the end of the day.
Those bands that, because even us, man, because I mean, like I said, we're still finding our sounds. We're still, there's always room to improve. And like I said, I also have my solo project, my rock project that I'm trying out, just because I'm ready to try something new. I'm as a musician myself, I'm constantly trying to find out new ways to try new things to see if something will hit. And you know, that's the fun of it. But I will just say this to bands that, you know, the rejection happens to everybody. But sometimes it absolutely is nothing personal. It's nothing ever personal, and it's not that your music's not good enough. It's just like, man, there's just so many bands out there. There's so many out there, and you know. To the bands that feel like, I don't know, man, I think with some of these bands that have worked so hard, because it's hard work, man. It is, and it's a hard, you have to have thick skin, because you will work hard and bust bust ass on the guitar for 3 hours a day or something, or however long anybody else practices, and write music and write a ton of music and get in the studio, throw a bunch of money at it, and sometimes get very little response. And that is so soul jading. And honestly, man, there have been times where there's been days that I feel like I've probably been a complete asshole, because it's just been one of those days that I felt like I've put everything into this and gotten very little out of it. And it's almost a scary thing. It creates so much self-doubt. So much self-doubt. But the big thing is, you know, we keep going, and out of the 10, 20 bad things or bad days that might happen to where you barely see any progress, finally a big moment will happen. It's those big moments that if you strive on them, I mean, if you share the shit out of it to people, and you strive on it and you use it to make you look huge, man, you'll get more of them. You know, the moment will come. That's all I can say to the bands is, when that moment comes, be ready, but just prepare for it. After rejection, because, man, I look back and I'm like, how the fuck did I push through starting this thing? Because, like, I honestly look back and I'm like, I'm not sure exactly how we got here at this point, because, you know, we really do have a good local following, and people ask me, it's like, what's the secret? I'm like, dude, I just kept going. Like, I haven't stopped. You know, we haven't stopped trying, you know, but the big thing is it can be absolutely soul jading, but man, I gotta just, if any other bands are listening, it's like, the big thing is, try not to let it cloud your judgment. Like, don't let it make you into a huge asshole that is now thinking that he deserves this, or he or she, I'm sorry, but thinking that they deserve this because they've worked so hard at it. It's like, everybody feels that way, man. Everybody feels that way. The moment you realize that, and you have to, no matter how crushing the blow is, you have to accept it, and you have to move on. Don't try not to burn bridges. You know, lately, you know, the whole label thing has kind of gotten me a little on edge with certain people, and you know, certain companies, like, you know, that just, you know, people asking for money, you know, like saying, oh, if you pay us this much, we'll do this. And it's like, luckily, you know, I haven't said anything, but like that, I can tell that's kind of like a touchy area for me right now. But it's like, man, you gotta relax. You gotta move past whatever, you know, rejection you go through, whatever hard times you go through with the band. You have to learn to move past it, and don't let it cloud your judgment. Don't get too hasty from it, because, you know, that's when ego gets involved, and that's when things will really start going south. It's like, you got to keep a level head at all costs. That's the biggest thing I can tell anybody. Man, you know, I
couldn't have said it any better, dude. You are 100% right on the fucking money right there, man. You know,
I felt like letting that out, because that has been affecting me lately, and I've noticed.
It's true.
And you brought it up, you know, bands acting surprised about, you know, not getting accepted. That's why, you know, even though we're not on the bill this year, I'm like, you know what? There's a ton of bands out there doing a great job. It's like, there's a lot of competition, and I totally get it, because here's the thing: we haven't released anything because of that stupid label we were with. We were scared we would release something, and that label would start saying, oh, we released it under them. That's how bad it was, man. I did not trust them at all. You know, so we've been waiting to release the single and get back in the studio because of that. But man, you know, it's.
Yeah, no, you guys were fucking amazing, and we will definitely be trying to get you guys back at some point soon, man. It will happen. I feel it, dude. Like, it's already. Man, but
I don't know, and I look, man, but it's like but I also understand. It's like, you know, you just gotta be realistic in this industry. If you start getting your head in the clouds, you're gonna get. Things are not gonna go your way, man. You just gotta be grounded and understand. And dude, I think we're a great, fantastic metal band, but, you know, there are other great bands out there. So, and we didn't, and dude, but I'm ecstatic. I am ecstatic for this new single, because it's going to hit hard, get people moving. And it's just going to be a big step forward for us.
Man, you talk about rejection and all that, and how you take it and how you feel about it. And, you know, dude, I totally fucking understand that. Like, I can't tell you, I'm in the same boat. Like, you know, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you guys with stuff like that. Like, that rolls over to us as well, man. You know, like, I get excited, you know, about a lot of these fucking releases that I fucking promote, you know, and not all of them fucking hit where I think they should hit, you know, and I'm like, it fucking, sometimes it pisses me off. I'm like, what the fuck, you know, like, how can you not fucking, you know, when I'm looking at some of these websites and the magazines and shit, you know, I'm like, why the fuck is this not, you know, like, but I can't get mad at them, you know, like, I can't get like that. I can't get my emotions into it. I got to step back and be like, you know, it's okay, man. Like, some shit's going to hit, some shit's not, man. You got to keep rolling and keep trying and keep pushing, because eventually something will, and that's, you know, that's where you got to, and when it does, fucking blow it up, man. But, like, you know, like, you know, just keep on trying.
Yeah, man. And you know, that's exactly, you have to utilize those big moments to the max potential that you can. That's what, man. If you get a big gig and you just say, okay, yay, we're going to play here. No, lame. No, you can't do that. You gotta, I mean, every day be like sharing it, like we're playing this, we're playing it. And after you play a big gig, or after you sign with a major label, or after you release an incredible song, I mean, you have to put it in people's faces, man. And that's how, because then people will share that to their people, and their people will share it to their people, and it's just a whole chain of events that'll unlock it. And, you know, we've had little spurts of that here and there. I'll tell you again, man, playing at Tennessee Metal Devastation Festival, man, that increased our popularity a lot. Like, now, dude, people in Tennessee know.
You guys fucking tore it the fuck up, man. I'm telling you what, man. When you guys came out there and you fucking jumped out into the crowd and you were doing your solos in the crowd, man, jamming in front of those people, man, they were fucking like, holy fuck. Like, what the fuck is this? They were not expecting that, you know, and like, there was a lot of people, man. I was hearing it, you know, I was hearing it from a lot of people, man. There's definitely, you guys made some huge fucking, some huge things with that live performance, and I think that's a very important thing as far as where it goes with bands, you know, nowadays, and what you got to do. But like, you guys are definitely fucking on there, man. You're on the fucking you're on the road, man. You're on the way to. You just keep on doing what you're doing, man. You know, it's gonna hit hard, man, because anybody that watches those videos, that sees your performance at that show, they need to book you, man. They need to. What the fuck, dude? Like, fucking.
I know, and I've talked to some people, and they were like, yeah, we'll book you, like, at our festival or whatever, and then I'll hit them back up, like, a couple months later. I'll be like, okay, can I submit? And they'll be like, yeah, and then I'll never hear from them again. But, you know, man, again, it's like, that's why I'm telling people is, like, don't take things personally. Do not take things personally. And I'm going to say this too, man. If it's your thing, it's your thing. And you know what? It definitely used to be my thing, but I am actually 4 months sober from alcohol. So I am clear-minded. I have my head way more level. I don't run on emotion. You know, and nothing against drinking. Drinking's a great thing. Just me personally, at this point in my life, I need mental clarity. And dude, honestly, it musically, surprisingly, it has helped. Like, it's like the songs come to me actually a lot better, and just everything in general is a lot. I'm more level-headed about, and I can see things through a little more clearly and make a little more realistic decisions, and also, you know, not become rash if things don't come my way, and that's honestly why. If I was going shot after shot on my Fireball or whatever cinnamon whiskey I treated myself to that night, and somebody said, "Oh no, you can't play this festival," or "No, we don't like that," or "We don't like this," man, it'd get to me, and you know, and I that's not who I want to be, and that's not how I want to handle, because it's a business, dude. It is a business, and I don't want to burn any bridges. But yeah, man, you know how I can be sometimes, dude. It's like you got a good buzz going and somebody's buzzkill. It's not fun.
Well, that leads me to another question, man. I got to ask you, dude. Were you on anything when you played the fucking fest last year? Because I remember when I talked to you right before you hit the stage, you were so fucking amped up. You were so excited. I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, I'm not saying that you were on anything or anything like that, but I was wondering. I was like, this motherfucker, is he naturally that fucking energetic? Like, that's crazy, dude. And you went out there and you blew it up, though.
No, dude, and that's what's nuts is actually I was actually sober for that one.
That's awesome.
Afterwards, I treated myself a little bit. Afterwards, but I told myself, I was like, man, I don't want to taint this performance at all.
So it was just natural.
Yeah, dude, I was all natural.
That's awesome.
That was all.
So you're just like that all the time.
Yeah, dude, and that's the thing. I am. I've got that ADHD, dude. I'll admit. I got, so I'm 100 miles per hour all the time, and but dude, especially and the energy you saw, man, is playing that show. I was like, it just felt so great. I was on cloud 9. Forgive me. I was on cloud 9,000. Like I was way higher than just cloud 9, man. That's what that was, and because I just knew. I was like, we are gonna throw this in these people's faces. Who knows what's gonna happen after that? But this is gonna be fun, and that just kind of was. That tingling sensation was just there for that,
I'll tell you what's going to happen, dude. Fucking our buddy Randall was there at the show, and he's a fucking budding fucking filmmaker. He just won a bunch of awards for this documentary that he did not too long ago, and he's shooting a documentary now about the festival, about the backlash and everything, but he's using a lot of footage from last year as well as this year, so I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be in there, so, that's fucking awesome, dude. You're going to get some fucking shit from that, man.
Last year, I don't think the videographer got there in time to cut, but there was a lot of fan footage, so if he ever needs fan...
We got tons of footage, man. Okay,
cool, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome, and, we'd appreciate that. But yeah, man, we love you guys, man. You guys have always done right by us, and anybody listening, Metal Devastation PR. If you got a release coming up, Metal Devastation PR will do right by you.
Thank you, brother. Well, before I let you go, man, is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Yeah. So, like I said, I do have my solo rock project as well. But before I talk about that, I do want to thank Doc Lopez and Ashton Dobbs for Doc being an incredible guitarist, Ashton for being an incredible drummer. Dwayne Bjorn was our drummer the last year we played the festival, but we have a new drummer now, and Dwayne and I, we're still on awesome terms. He's a great guy, but family just kind of got in the way. But there's no bad blood or anything. But Ashton, he's an incredible drummer. So just like I said, look out for the new single from Crazy Mad Ride, and then my solo rock project. Just look up Brandon Barker, Rollin' the Rock, or Here to Here. Like, those are songs. But I have a new album that's going to be coming out in a month or two as well. That's just some good old fashioned rock and roll. Especially if you're like a AC/DC fan, you'll like it.
Do you guys have anything recorded that you can send me to play?
Yeah, for the solo project?
Yeah.
I messaged you the Google Drive link, but it's not an MP3, it's an M4A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go grab that shit after the fucking interview, dude. I'll throw that in here, man.
Do you need an MP3? Because I can probably resend an MP3
No,
if I need to.
No, it's fine, dude. I can, I got you.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. But, yeah, other than that, I do want to say thank you to all our fans. It's at the end of the day, we're nothing without people that want to listen to us, because when we go somewhere and we see faces new and familiar, the more the merrier. The more people we see, the more we're ready to rock, man.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, Well, before I let you go, can I get you to make us another station tag for us?
Yeah, what you want? What do you want me to say again?
Say whatever you want, however you want it, but say something like, "This is Crazy Mad Ride, and you're listening to Metal Devastation motherfucking radio."
Okay. What's up, guys? This is Crazy Mad Ride, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio. Let's go! Ha
Hell yeah,
there we
dude!
Go.
Hell yeah, badass, man, fucking badass. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna blast some more Crazy Mad Ride for these motherfuckers right now, so they can go crazy. All right.
Hell yeah, man, and thank you, dude, and we love you guys.
Thank you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you, bro.
Later.
Later.
There you have it, folks. Crazy Mad Ride live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows. Put them in your front lawns. Put them in your neighbor's driveway. If you're living in the basement, duct tape your speakers to the ceiling. If you're in the attic, point your speakers at the floor. Do whatever the fuck you gotta do, man. Make everybody around you be like, what the fuck is wrong with this asshole? Why won't he shut the fuck up? Crank it the fuck up loud as a fuck, man. If you don't see U-Haul trucks everywhere tomorrow, dude,